In a stunning turn of events that continues to shake the music industry, Kid Cudi has taken the stand as a key witness in Sean Diddy Combs' ongoing trafficking trial.
The sex trafficking trial was the actor and singer Kid Cudi. Cudi talked about how he dated Cassie, the R&B.
The courtroom was tense as Scott Mescudi, better known to the world as Kid Cudi, testified about his brief but significant romantic relationship with Cassie Ventura and the frightening retaliation he allegedly faced at the hands of Diddy. This testimony adds yet another layer to the already explosive allegations surrounding the bad boy mogul.
Any of the charges or anything, and it really has the possibility of rubbing this jury the wrong way and causing them to kind of hate.
And it has left fans and industry insiders alike reeling. Today, we're diving deep into Kid Cudi's testimony, what it reveals about Diddy's alleged behavior, and the broader implications this could have for one of hip-hop's most powerful figures. Before the courtroom testimonies and headlines, before the accusations and allegations, there was just a man and a woman trying to find peace in the chaos of fame. In 2011, Scott Mescudi, known around the world as Kid Cudi, was already a celebrated artist. Fresh off the success of his first two albums, Man on the Moon and Man on the Moon 2, Cudi had become known for his vulnerable, emotional storytelling and a sound that pushed the boundaries of hip-hop. But beneath the fame, he was a man searching for stability and connection. At the same time, Cassie Ventura, known simply as Cassie, was navigating her own complex path in the music industry. Signed to Bad Boy Records, the label helmed by Sean Diddy Combs, Cassie had enjoyed early success with her 2006 breakout hit Me and You. But her career since had been marked by long delays, shelved projects, and a relationship with her label boss that many viewed as more than professional. It was during this period of professional uncertainty and personal vulnerability that Kid Cudi and
Cudi had a brief relationship with Cassie Ventura during this time, and Combs allegedly made threats against him because of it.
Cassie began to connect. According to Cudi's courtroom testimony, the two were initially just friends, bonded by shared experiences in the music industry, mutual respect for one another's art, and a desire to escape the weight of their public personas. Their conversations started off casual, industry chatter, shared frustrations, reflections on what it meant to try to create something real in a world that often felt fake. But slowly, that friendship blossomed into something more. In his own words, Cudi said, "We were friends and dated briefly. It wasn't some headline-grabbing romance designed for paparazzi lenses. There were no Instagram selfies or TMZ sightings. It was quiet, tentative, two people trying to figure out if they could build something authentic in an environment that rarely allowed for it." But even in those early stages, there was a shadow that lingered over the relationship. Cudi said he understood that Cassie and Sean Combs were no longer together. She had described their relationship as troubled, fractured. It was by her account over. And so Cudi moved forward under the assumption that they were free to explore their connection. Yet, it became increasingly clear that this wasn't just a standard breakup. Diddy wasn't merely an ex-boyfriend. He was a powerful figure in Cassie's life, both professionally and personally. Their history wasn't something Cassie could walk away from without consequence. And soon, the tensions that had been brewing quietly in the background would come crashing into the foreground in the most unsettling way. But for a brief moment, just a flicker in time, Cudi and Cassie believed they had found something real. A chance at connection. A moment of peace. That moment, however, was short-lived. What came next would forever alter the trajectory of their lives and ultimately land Cudi in a New York courtroom years later, recounting a story he never imagined would need to be told under oath. The moment everything changed came in December 2011. Cudi was going about his day when he received a call from Cassie. Her voice trembled. She was stressed, nervous, and scared, according to his testimony. She had just learned that Diddy found out about their relationship. Though she'd told Cudi it was over between her and Combs, this revelation painted a new picture. A picture of control and intimidation that hadn't been clear before. Cassie begged him to come get her, fearing what Combs might do. Cudi, without hesitation, jumped into action. He drove to pick her up and took her to the Sunset Marquee in West Hollywood, hoping it would serve as a safe place for her to calm down and figure things out. While at the hotel, they received a phone call from Capricorn Clark, an employee of Diddy's. According to Cudi, Clark was scared and on the verge of tears. She told them that Diddy was at Cudi's Hollywood Hills home. Cudi couldn't believe it. He called Combs immediately. "Motherf, are you in my house?" Combs, shockingly calm, replied, "I just want to talk to you." When Cudi arrived home, the place was empty, but the signs of intrusion were obvious. His Christmas gifts for his family, Chanel boxes, had been opened. His dog, normally free to roam the house, had been locked in the bathroom. The most telling detail? The dog, Cudi said, was very jittery, on edge all the time when he let him out. This wasn't just a break-in. It was a violation. Someone had entered his sanctuary. And now his mind raced with questions. Why? What message was Diddy trying to send? He wandered from room to room, trying to take in the damage. Nothing had been stolen, but everything had changed. It wasn't about theft. It was about presence. The act of being there. Of opening gifts meant for loved ones. Of terrifying a pet that only knew comfort and calm. After a moment to process, Cudi did what many in his position might hesitate to do. He called the police. A report was filed. But in Hollywood, where power can blur the lines of justice, he didn't expect much to come of it. He sat in his driveway for a long time that night, trying to make sense of what had happened. He lit a cigarette, looked out over the LA skyline, and wondered if he'd made a mistake. Not in dating Cassie, but in underestimating the power of the man she had tried so desperately to escape. Later that month, Cudi joined Cassie's family for the holidays in Connecticut. It was supposed to be a reprieve, a moment of peace. A time to regroup. But even in the quiet of snow-covered suburbs, Diddy's presence felt inescapable. Cudi found himself looking over his shoulder, checking his phone constantly. One day, a text came in from Diddy. He wanted to meet. Cudi refused. "You broke into my house, you messed with my dog. I don't want to talk with you," he replied. Those words marked a turning point. Cudi realized that this situation wasn't just some dramatic misunderstanding. It was part of something larger, something darker. The emotional weight became too much. Cudi began to feel the psychological toll. Insomnia, anxiety, fear of being watched. Even Cassie seemed shaken. The relationship, already strained by external forces, began to deteriorate under the pressure. After the holidays, they ended things. The drama was just getting out of hand, Cudi testified. He packed fast forward to 2025. In a Manhattan courtroom, Cudi took the stand. He wore jeans, a leather jacket, and a white t-shirt. But he wasn't there as a celebrity. He was there as a man who had seen the dark side of influence up close. His testimony wasn't salacious. It was grounded, emotional, and filled with the kind of detail that can only come from someone who lived through the trauma. By recounting his brief relationship with Cassie and the terrifying aftermath, Cudi painted a picture that went far beyond gossip. It was a portrait of a culture that protects power and punishes independence. And as the trial of Sean Diddy Combs unfolds, more stories like Cudi's are emerging. Stories of fear, control, and the long shadows cast by those who believe they're untouchable. This is more than a courtroom drama. It's a reckoning, one testimony at a time. Thanks for watching. If you found this video compelling, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.